Hey everybody, it's me, Todd Andrew Barnett. It is, let's see here, 5:07 in the morning, and I know it's pretty late. I don't usually stay up this late, but I decided to do the first episode, my first test run, if I would like to say. Um, I just want people to know that this is my show. And, well, it's something that's important to me because I'm going to be on here and I'm just going to tell people about my new show, and we'll just go on from there. And it's going to be pretty interesting, to say the least. Yeah. So it's I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to promote the show. And yeah, well, people can see this for what it is. And yeah, I guess I will be doing this and people will be ecstatic about it. So there you have it. It's a live video, and it's through YouTube, and this is my YouTube channel, more or less. Let's see here. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff here, and we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff that people would normally say. I guess, there is the live chat function here, and there's going to be participants in here, so there you have it. So it's going to be yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this unfolds, basically. I'm doing this, testing the waters, seeing if people are interested. There are people who are now, there's one people who's watching right now. Please come into the chat room. Please sit down, get a beer, potato chips, Doritos, whatever. We're going to be having fun today, I guess. I hope so. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. So that's the idea in person. And I'll set this up as time goes on. I'll figure out how to do some funding for the show and whatnot. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So this is my show, indeed. And we're going to find this out, and we're going to have people come in here and talk about a lot of different stuff. If you still want to talk about politics, if you still want to talk about a lot of different stuff, yeah, sure, we can do that. We can talk about so many different things so that I don't bore the shit out of people, more or less. Okay, so let's see here. This is something new. This is the live video version of my podcast show on Talk Show. So I'll still be doing this show on Talk Show. And I'll still be doing this here on YouTube. I might try to do the live video version while I'm still doing Talk Show. And it would be very advantageous, so. And I hope people will tune in, they'll dial in, they'll have some great shit going on, Here, let me. Yeah, there we go. I look much cooler this way. Seriously, folks. I just want to thank you, everybody, for watching this, even if it's not live. If you're watching a pre-recorded version of it, this is the streaming. No, that's okay. Okay, so let's get right to it, shall we? We're going to be talking about the coronavirus right now and how that's exploded within the last month and a half. I mean, it's really taken the entire globe by storm. And it's destroyed a lot of people. I'm not going to fucking kid you. It did. This is awful. To find this out that this came from China, I'm not surprised, because historically speaking, China has had a number of viruses and so many diseases coming from their neck of the woods that why would anybody want to travel to China? No. I mean, the whole reality is China is nothing but an infection cesspool. Seriously. And that's what's become of this. And I'm not trying to hate on the Chinese people, but it's hard to not have any emotional reactions to the fact that the Chinese government didn't do shit when they didn't do anything to put a stop to it. They could have put a stop to this anytime they wanted. Yet they didn't want to. They withheld evidence. They told the Chinese doctors not to give out information. Are they fucking crazy? So that's what happened. And, the Chinese could have warned the whole world. They could have warned the whole world about this death trap, if you will. They could have done it. They didn't. And people wonder why, a number of Americans are harboring some, acrimony, and not to mention disgust towards the Chinese people because of what they've done, and the Chinese government in particular. It is sad. It is sad to no end that the Chinese government didn't do a damn thing to put the kibosh to this, that they didn't nip it in the bud when they should have, before it started to become a horrible pandemic. That's atrocious. Think of how many atrocities are being committed because of their refusal to act. Imagine how many people refused to act. Understand that, people. I'm sorry, but right now I look at the Chinese people and I'm thinking of them, and I'm thinking the Chinese government as not the people. I stand corrected. The Chinese government, I recognize the Chinese government as the Antichrist. Okay? It's that simple. They're the Antichrist. They're the Antichrist of human beings, of humanity, because of their refusal to warn the medical communities at large, the governments at large. Italy's been locked down for weeks. Other countries are under lockdown for weeks. Same thing with Australia. Same thing with England. It's a sure bet that Canada is under lockdown too. And I think it is. Now, we're on the verge of becoming completely locked down because of this. And people wonder why. It's the Chinese fault. Everybody wants to blame Trump for everything under the sun. Now, I'll grant you, he did fuck up on a few things. He deserves a lot of criticism for that. But what did the others do to help put to prevent a pandemic from forming? What did the Democrats do? The Republicans were slow as fuck trying to stop this. What about the Democrats? Where were they? They could have stopped this. They could have gotten us prepared. They could have done investigations if word was leaking out about this virus. Oh no, they had to spend over a month trying to go after Trump because he's a secret agent working for Putin. Really? Oh my God. This is the reason why so many people just don't get it. They really do not get it. And, you know, it is sad. And we don't know what to do about it. It is so sad that we are in the midst of a pandemic, that it's reached the entire planet. I tweeted earlier yesterday. It might have been in the morning. It might have been way early in the morning. I don't remember what time I tweeted it. It's the Black Death of 2020. That's right. It's the Black Death of the 21st century. We didn't have this shit happening at the end of the 20th century. The 20th century was better than this shit. Imperfect, but it was still a lot better, folks. Think about it. Don't deny it. And people wonder why we are at a point in our lives where we can't escape from this. From what I've seen, it's gut-wrenching. And people are wondering why we're hated. This entire almost first quarter of the 21st century has been a piece of shit. We don't know if we're going to make it. I don't know if we're going to make it. Even if we do make it, I'm up here, Mom. Yeah, I'm doing my live video stream. Thank you. Love you too. That's my mom. She's got to say that shit. She's got to wonder what I'm always doing when I'm up here. So, this has become a huge fuckery of pandemic proportions. And a lot of people wonder why. So, I don't know how we're going to get out of this. I don't know if this entire lockdown. Usually, when government expands its powers, it never goes back to the way it is. It never happens, folks. I guess this is the worst thing that's happened. But what are you gonna do, right? If anybody's watching, please, please, you know, go into the chat, call me. I would love to see it. You know, everybody's staying at home. They're told to stay at home. They're told to follow the rules. People, by their own very nature, don't like to be told. And it's not because, well, it's all about their freedom, although that's part of it. They know that the government doesn't care about them. If the government did care about the people, they could have prevented more people from coming into the United States. They should have sent them back to you know where what. And that's the tragedy of it all. Yeah. Yeah, you know, the whole idea of the COVID the COVID-19 yeah, you gotta wash your hands. You gotta hand sanitize them if you have any hand sanitizer. You gotta stay 6 six. I can't even speak right. I guess it's because I'm tired. You gotta, stand 6 feet away from people. You can't gather in crowds with a lot of people. You gotta wear gloves and masks, face masks. Hospitals are running out of those items. They're reaching full capacity of the beds. Not they've never done it before anyway, even before the virus, because of Obamacare, promising free health care for the most part. Well, kind of, sort of, but you gotta have, you gotta go through the exchanges for this open market shit. The healthcare system has gone downhill. It's, and I know it because I use the system. I have medical conditions up the ass, the likes of which nobody wants to know how things look on my end. People just don't get it. They just don't get it. They just don't get how terrible this virus is. Now, I'm not saying that, people are going to, let me start from scratch there. People are going to do what they want to do. You can tell them all day and all night, stay in the house, you lock your doors, and just, you know, be scared, be scared, be scared. It's not going to work. Face masks are not going to protect you from the virus. It's to keep your germs in. Even if I wear the best face mask out there, even if I shaved and I had this beard removed, they say, well, if you're going to wear a gas mask, get the M50, not the M40s. The M40s are really shitty. The M50s are the best. More and more people are going for the M50s. They've got filters and shit. The only thing you gotta do on your end is to shave. Because your beard is going to create a crease in where it's supposed to lock in, like right here, around here, in this area. Your beard is not going to prevent it. And if you don't shave, it's no good. That's information from my brother, Jim, who was a Marine many, many, many years ago. And he went into the Marines when he was a young man, a young adult. So, and that was in the 80s. So I think people need to realize that this is the worst thing that's happening to all of us. And it's terrible. But this is gonna be going on for a long, long while. At the rate of more cases popping up, that tells you that people haven't been tested and they don't have any cures. Now, many pharmaceutical companies, as much as I hate the pharmaceutical companies, they're going to be our friends. As much as they're our enemies, they're basically going to be our frenemies. We're going to have to rely on them to come up with drugs. Antivirals like the malaria pill. We're going to need a lot of shit, and there are already clinical trials speeding up, trying to get a number of these drugs out in the market, and your doctor will send you the drug if you have COVID-19, and it's going to stem the tide of the symptoms, or better yet, cure you. One way or the other, it's going to do it. Of course, they're going to come out with vaccines so that people who aren't infected with the virus will most likely not get the mutated strains. You may end up getting another strain. This virus is going to be around maybe for years. It's going to mutate. It's going to change. That's what viruses do. And, you know, and the worst part about this is that the infected who are quarantined are released from quarantine, but the people who are sick and put in quarantine end up getting sick. Hey, this is hell now. This is a new form of hell. Why should anybody go into this imaginary world of hell in the afterlife just to meet Satan in person when this is the worst hell that anybody can experience? It's biological terrorism. It's a war on humanity. All because people in China love to feast on dead bats and wet markets. Yep. They eat them like they're chicken drumsticks they bought from KFC. Wow. Now, this is going to be intertwined with the election. A lot of businesses have closed. Well, not all businesses, but a lot of businesses have closed. If you want products, you're going to have to go and basically get your products at curbside or have it shipped. Like Best Buy, for instance. All the Best Buy stores throughout the country are doing this. And, wow. It's a nightmare of its own making. Restaurants are partially open, but they're only open for people. They're only open for people to order, to buy stuff through the drive-through, or, take out orders. Better yet, do the contactless deliveries. Do that shit. Order out. I've ordered out from Denny's. I've ordered out from Ramshorn. I ordered out from Wendy's and Checkers and Subway through my phone. Shit like that. I even bought groceries from Kroger. Oh, that even reminds me. What the fuck is up with all this panic buying? People running into the stores, buying shit, weeks ago, and they're like, oh my God, we're all gonna die. The apocalypse is upon us. Yeah, the shit-pocalypse is, like a gigantic tidal wave of human feces is going to come after us. Worse than Godzilla and Mothra. Even worse than War of the Worlds. Much, much worse than ID4. I'm trying these movie classics because they mean something. because this is relevant in the day and today. Now, it's going to be pathetic how everybody is responding to this. Everybody's being cool about, oh, just stay inside and you'll be okay. Well, you know what? Suck my dick. Because we are fucked. This is not the way we should be living our lives. This isn't living. My friend, on Facebook, who's from Canada, and I can't remember her first name already. I know her middle name is Cecilia. Is it Sophia or Sarah or whatever? Anyway, she was pointing out that this is not a way to live. And I saw the video, I asked for it, and guess what? We are screwed, folks. So, with that said, I don't know what's going to happen with the election. They're going to probably have to delay it. They're probably, I don't see what the point of the Democratic National Convention, but that's going to be delayed. Maybe the election will have to be delayed. You know, if anything, Trump will most likely be reelected for a second term. Biden, he's just not going to make it. I'm going to tell you right now, he's got all these mental issues that he hasn't sorted out. He's also a goddamn pervert because he happens to grab and touch young women under 19 years of age and kiss them on the forehead like he wants to do a date with them or smooch. And he's an old fuck. So, but we got to go along with it, right? I just don't think he's going to last. I don't think Sanders is going to last. Even if he did, the Democratic Party will do everything they can to stop him because they hate him. They can't stand him. They're not going, otherwise they may have to have Michael Bloomberg. Michael Bloomberg's race went kaput. Same thing with Tulsi Gabbard and Pete Buttigieg and Andrew Yang and Elizabeth Warren. It's kind of shocking that Hillary didn't, go to the mat to do shit. She didn't go to the mat to start up a third campaign and work her way to become a presidential candidate and a nominated one, just like she did in 2016. She couldn't accomplish that in 2008, but oh well. So what's going to happen here? I think the election isn't gonna happen. If it happens, well, that would be shocking. There is the strong likelihood that Trump will call for martial law by the end of the year, close to election time. And we're talking about the shadow government. I hate to sound like a conspiracy theorist here, but you know what? You might as well call me one, because I think the whole world has gone nuts. Absolutely nuts. And oh yeah, there's a lot more to cover on this, but let's see here. It's 5:47. We're coming up the 40 minutes mark. I don't want to do a lot more. I've said all I've had to say for the night. I hope everybody pays attention to this. I know I look like shit right now because I'm tired. My brain is like a deep fried egg. Although sometimes that does sound good, but you know, I prefer my eggs over easy actually. I like them scrambled, but I prefer them over easy. Oh, and I love bacon. I so love bacon. And pancakes, and sausage, and hash browns. Yum, yum, yum. That's a lot of protein for me. Okay, well, good night, folks, and I will see you maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe later this week, whenever. Just try to keep your spirits up, entertain yourself. If you need to alleviate the boredom or the stir craziness, just take a walk around the block. Play board games. If you got a girlfriend with her, start making babies. The coronials, as they are calling it. Yeah, millennials, you say you don't want kids. It's time to do it now. All right. Adios, Sancheros. Good night.